Alright, Shalom. Before I start, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, GMS, who rule well and will tell us this truth. And I also want to say Shalom, Barakim, Halabakariam, Shal Yashar Allah. That's peace and blessings to the elect of the nation of Israel. Alright, this is Amos 5 and 10. It says, They hate him that rebuketh in the gate, and they abhor him that speaketh uprightly. Alright, and the reason I wanted to start off with this precept, alright, is to just kind of set the mood or the tone of this video, alright, which is shedding the light upon those that do evil, alright, meaning that their deeds are evil, alright, the men or women, alright, the individuals that choose not to hearken unto the words of the prophets of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, alright, the men who are inspired and to preach, alright, the many prophecies that are foretold in the Holy Bible, alright. So I'm going to read that one more time. Amos 5 and 10. They hate him that rebuketh in the gate, and they abhor him that speaketh uprightly. Alright, because as we know, being in America, alright, modern day Egypt and Sodom, alright, we know that this place is full of traps and confusion, alright, and of course wickedness, alright. Like it says in Job 9 and 24, this place is ruled, alright, by the wicked, alright. And we know if the ruler is wicked, so will his kingdom be also. All right, so we're surrounded by wickedness, all right, all the time, all right. Ezekiel 9 and 4, right? All right, the men that cry aloud to spare not, to make known the call of the wickedness, the abominations, all right, around us, all right, and ultimately to wake up our people, all right, Israel, all right, and this is who we speak this message to, and guess what? It's those same individuals that talk smack about the prophets, all right, talking about the rebellious ones of Israel, all right, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, all right, the evildoers of our nation, all right. And I'm going to prove, all right, that these are the same individuals also, all right, as to why, to shed some light on the wickedness, all right, to talk about why they abhor us, all right. This is John 3 and 19. It says, And this is the condemnation, that light is come into the world, and men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil. All right, I'll keep reading. Verse 20. For everyone that doeth evil hateth the light, neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved. All right, and that's the point. All right, in verse 19, they mentioned that the light is coming to the world. All right, so don't we do that? All right, beyond the highways and hedges, coming in the name of Yahweh Shai, like I started this video. I gave all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, the Heavenly Father. All right, in the name of His Son, Hamashach Yahweh Shai, or who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Because what our people. What they'd rather stick to evil, man. They'd rather stick to darkness. They love being in the midst of the darkness, man. Why? Because their deeds are evil, man. They don't want their deeds to come to light, and ultimately they don't want to be reproved. They don't want to be corrected. All right, which is why the Lord has to destroy 2/3 out of the nation of Israel, man. All right, the ones that are predestined not to receive salvation. All right, but the ones that are, the ones that are going to be heirs to salvation, aka the elect. All right, they're going to be that light of the world. All right, and to shine that light, whether or not they love it or not, all right. But we know the majority are gonna love darkness. They're gonna stick to that, man. Hosea 4 and 6, man. Our people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, all right. And it's because they rejected it. That's the part that's the part that makes them what makes it even worse, all right. They'd rather stick. They consciously choose, all right, to stick to that darkness, to stick to death, all right, and to the left hand side, man, all right. So I'm going to read verse 20 one more time. It says, For everyone that doeth evil hateth the light, neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved, man. And this comes more so to our people, man, more than ever. All right? Everyone that doeth evil hateth the light. They hate that light. Why? Because they don't want to be corrected. They don't want to actually humble down. All right? And what? Become disciplined. That's the one thing that Jake hates. Disciplinary action. All right? They don't want to change their ways. They don't want to put off the old man. They don't want to be renewed in this, in their minds. They want to stay the way they are and be in America, man. All right, and ultimately that's why their deeds, all right, that they don't want to be reproved. All right, but the elect, however, when they come to the light, that although they might what's the word? It might be a headache to them at first, right? Bitter, right? But guess what? It's sweet and then bitter and then sweet and then bitter. All right, but guess what? The elect, they're gonna embrace the light. They're gonna embrace the light, and they're actually gonna be what? They're gonna be renewed, and they're gonna become, all right, within that light. All right, to be within Yahweh Shai. All right. So This is Proverbs 6:23. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproofs of instruction are the way of life. Just like the Lord said. How he set two ways before us, life and death. So choose therefore life. Which is what it's hidden. It's in these words. All right, it's in the way of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. And even then concerning what darkness and light, we know that it's like that analogy how when you turn on the light, and a person's been in a dark room for a period of time, you turn on the light, and guess what? You turn it on, and it's gonna be painful to him. He's gonna say, turn it off, turn it off. That's how the wicked of our people look at it, man. They want us to turn that light off and let them go back to sleep, all right, and delay and gross darkness. All right, that's what our people want. All right, but as for the elect, like I mentioned before, it might be painful at first to your eyes to be adjusted. All right, but guess what? They're gonna embrace it. They're gonna stick to the instruction. They're gonna stick to the way of life that the Lord had intended them to walk upon. All right, as in the elect, our Lord's will, we be of that number also. All right, they're gonna continue on to that path. All right, as that light. The law is light, man. The reproofs, the instructions, those are the way of life, the way of Yahweh Shai, and they're gonna stick to that path, man. All right. This is 2 Peter 2:5, right? Because I wanted to get an example, of course, with the men of old. All right, looking upon our forefathers as an example. So this is 2 Peter 2:5. It says, "And spared not the old world, but saved Noah, the eighth person, a preacher of righteousness, bringing in the flood upon the world of the ungodly." All right, which of course Noah, right? He was a prophet. All right, prophesied of the world that's going to be flooded. All right, in that time frame. All right, and it says that he was a preacher of righteousness, right? And if you keep reading onward, it mentions the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah, right? You don't think the inhabitants of those places, you don't think that they abhorred, all right, the speakings of Noah, all right, a preacher of righteousness, and we know that the inhabitants of Sodom and Gomorrah were what? They were wicked. They were vile people, all right. They weren't following in the lamp or the light of the Lord, all right. They weren't hearkening to the words of Noah. All right, being the eighth person that got saved, right? That a preacher of righteousness unto the world of the ungodly. They abhorred him, man. All right, they abhorred his words, and it's written in the same way. And when you read in the 2 Chronicles, the last chapter, all right, they misuse his prophets, right? Noah was probably misused, man. He's probably spoken bad of, right? They most definitely abhorred his words. If he was a preacher of righteousness, therefore what? It makes him a man, a just man. All right, and everyone else around him, what? Wicked. So they most definitely they just didn't mesh. All right, I might as well just read it. Verse 6. It says, "In turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemned them with an overthrow, making them an ensample unto those that should live ungodly." All right, and that's the point. Actually, I'm going to skip down to verse 9. It says, "The Lord knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptations, and to reserve the unjust unto the day of judgment to be punished." Yeah, that's right, man. They're going to be what? They're going to be reserved unto that day of judgment to be punished. All right? Well, because ultimately they stuck to darkness, man. And guess what? If the Lord want them to be dead, well, guess what? He's going to make them physically dead anyways. All right? He's gonna leave them into that gross darkness because what? They're really just set out on their own paths. All right? But ultimately, of course, the elect, right, the men of the Lord, they're gonna stick to that light, and they're gonna keep shining it, man. The scriptures call us that. The light of the as we read in John. All right, we come forth with the light. All right, preaching the word of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, and guess what? Our people hate us for it. All right, because ultimately it's too bright for them, man. All right, because it shows forth who they truly are. All right, just a bunch of evildoers. All right, so let's go. We can get the last precept. This is Proverbs 4:18. "But the path of the just is as the shining light that shineth more and more unto the perfect day." All right, verse 19. "The way of the wicked is as darkness. They know not at what they stumble." And when you read in the book of Jeremiah, it's almost the same thing. It says that that they love to have it so. When we, all right, us and when the Lord, if the more so speaking on the false prophets, all right, if they speak deceitfully, to smooth words to our people, they rather have it like that, and it's written that our people love to have it so. But what are ye gonna do in the end thereof? What are you gonna do when the Lord actually returns, when the judgment day starts knocking at the door? You know, you can't do nothing there, nothing then and there. It's like what they say in in kindergarten or in the first grade. They say that you can't be a troublemaker throughout the whole school year, and then at the end of the day, all right, when it's the last day of school, you're an angel. You know, it's the same concept. All right, you can't be an evildoer for the whole period, the whole grace period, and then when your Lord Yahweh Shai comes back, you're a Hebrew Israelite. I've kept the laws, statutes, and commandments to a T, or or that you claim you had faith in Yahweh Shai. You can't. You gotta call the Lord, man. Or you can't supplant your Maker. All right. So we read verse 19 again. It says, "The way of the wicked is as darkness; they know not at what they stumble." All right, and they love to have it so. All right, but of course, the true sons of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, they're gonna actually hearken unto His word. All right, then guess what? In verse 18 it says, "But the path of the just is as the shining light that shineth more and more unto the perfect day." All right, because as for us, all right, but we know that way is a straight way. Strait. All right, meaning vigorous, difficult. You know, but guess what? We embrace it, and therefore what? It's gonna lead us onto life. All right, and we're gonna receive that kind of life. By our Lord Yahweh Shai. All right. Best for the others, they're going to stick to that gross darkness, and they're going to be destroyed with their deeds. All right. Their deeds are going to follow them to the grave. All right. Ultimately, you know. Best for the elect, amen. They're going to be set aside, man, because they actually hearken unto the Lord, and they behold His righteousness on this path. So Lord willing, that quick edifying, just a quick edifying video. To shedding some light, spiritual pun, all right, as to why our people hate, all right, this light, because their deeds are evil, So Lord, that was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Okakodash. Again, double honors to the apostles and elders. I agree most on GMS who were well and will tell us this truth. Peace and salutations be unto your fellow brethren, you Akim, that are also pushing up this word in truth, faith, and in sincerity. And with that, I want to say Shalom.